So welcome back. Sorry if you can hear my cat wandering around, but today I'm doing my eyeshadow palette draw. So this is just my clear out of my eyeshadow palettes on my collection and declutter video. So today, like I said, I've got my palettes and I have this massive drawer full of palettes. I also have this drawer further down full of palettes, and then I also have this drawer which has some palettes in. And yeah, that's it. So I have pretty much like 3 drawers of palettes. So let's begin. In this first drawer, I just have it like a stuff full of palettes. This isn't even all of them. I have like 6 or 7 palettes at uni, so I'm never really home that much, so I don't really need all of these palettes. But anyway, I'm just going to start pulling palettes out. So the first one, I have my Kylie Sort of Sweet palette. I've not long since recently got this and I do quite like this, so I'm going to keep this. I have a Too Faced chocolate bar palette. Now this is so old, I don't know if you can see. I just don't ever reach for this anymore, so I'm going to give it to somebody that would use it. Then I have my Cocoa Blends palette. I think I'm going to put this in the Maybe. This is by Zoeva because I do really like it. Like the shimmer shades, like this shimmer shade here and this shimmer shade here, it's amazing, and I love this matte as well as this shimmer, but I just never really reach for it, so I don't know. I'm going to put this in the maybe pile. Then I have this Revolution Sofa X palette, which of course is from Sophie Does Nails. I never ever used, well, I've used this once, but I am going to get rid of this or give it to somebody that could use it. Next, we have my Anastasia Sultry palette. This is a keeper. I love this palette. Every autumn and winter time I pull this palette out and it just amazes me every time, and I still love this palette and I love the cool tones, so I'm going to keep that. Next I have this Laura Ashley palette. I've never actually opened this. It's still in the bag. I bought this when I went to America and it cost me like $6, but I am going to give this to somebody that could use it. The packaging is beautiful, but I've just never like used it. Yeah, this is what it looks like. I've just never used it. Next I have the Matte Voyager palette by Zoeva, and it just looks like this. Now this is a very warm tone palette. I don't really wear very warm tones anymore, but considering this palette is small and I don't have many warm tones, I'm going to keep this. It's also good when I travel, so yeah. Next I have the Fall in Love palette from Barry M, which I never use anymore. I used to use it like back when warm shades are in, but nobody really uses these colours anymore. And I just realised these colours don't really suit me that well, so I'm going to get rid of this. Next I have this Lime Crime palette. This is a 100% keep. This is the Polly Pocket palette, that middle shade, the white one. I use on my inner corners all the time and it is absolutely stunning. To be honest, I've never really used any of the other shades, just that one. But I probably should, because this shade down here is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I'm keeping this. Next I have the Too Faced matte chocolate chip. Again, I've never really used this. I bought it and this is what it looks like. It's cute, but I just never really use it, so I'm probably going to pass this on to someone else. And I have this EYN palette, which I'm going to keep from Beauty Bay. This is what I use for festival season when I get to go to festivals. Not that I could go to Minute during the pandemic, but I do like this palette, and it's from Beauty Bay. And yeah, I just like how many colours. I don't really have very many palettes of colours, so I'm going to keep this. So then I have the Zoeva Caramel Melange palette, and this just looks like this. Oh, maybe I should get the other one back, and we can only keep one. So if I had to pick one out of the 2, I would probably pick this one because it's got these 4 shimmers, which I love. So yeah, I think I'm going to keep the Caramel Melange palette and get rid of the Cocoa Blends palette. So I'm keeping this one and I'm getting rid of this one. Next I have my Naked 3. I don't think I could ever get rid of this. This is too iconic. This is the first high-end palette I ever bought. I never ever use this anymore. but again, it's just got too much nostalgia to me, and I paid for it full price, so I just don't ever want to get rid of this. Stood here. Oh, I already know I'm going to get rid of this. This is the Life's a Festival palette from Too Faced. I bought this when I was in the States for $17 from TK Maxx. The packaging is cute, but I never used this, and it's pretty much all shimmer shades. So yeah, I'm going to give this to somebody that will use it. The packaging's cute, and I love the unicorn. Makeup collector, like, I used to just want to collect all makeup, but I've come to the realisation now, like, now that I'm 20, I'm like, do I really need all of this makeup that I'm never going to use? And the answer is no, so I'm trying to be a little bit more minimalist when it comes to makeup. Not that that will ever happen, because I'm not a minimalist at all, but I try to be. So yeah, anyway, I have two Morphe palettes. Now, I had more, but I sold them, and these were the only two that I kept. So I have the 350 palette. I believe this is a fake version. But I am going to get rid of this because I have that smaller Matte Voyager palette with some of these shades in. And again, these are just so big that I never reach for this. And again, it's not even a real one, I don't think. So I'm just going to shove this straight in the bin. I have this Morphe palette. This is the 35F. So it just looks like this. This is pretty much all shimmers. So I think I'm going to keep this just because it's got options for looks with the amount of shimmers it has in it. So yeah, I will keep this. So I have the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. I've never ever used this. It cost me £17 from TK Maxx, and I'm going to sell this because I have never used this. Not that I will get much for it now, but yeah, it's better than collecting dust in my drawers. Next, I only have 3 palettes left, so I have this Amethyst palette by Kat Von D, which I'm going to get rid of and sell because, yeah, it is beautiful, but I've only ever used it once. Sell this or give it to a friend. In this drawer, I have my Too Faced Then and Now palette. Now, this is a hard one because I never, ever used this palette, but it's just so, like, nostalgic because obviously it's celebrating like 10 years of Too Faced. But I think I will get rid of this because I just never use it, but I just love the packaging, and it's just so big, so it takes up so much space. So I'm going to sell this or give it to a friend. Now, the next drawer is more of my drugstore eyeshadow palettes. So this is this drawer. So starting off here, I have this Pacifica palette, which I'm getting rid of. I've never used this. It is a vegan brand, but I just never used it. Then I have this old Dutty Revolution palette. This is the Golden Sugar palette. I got this when I was like 14 when it first came out, but I'm going to get rid of this. I never use it, and it is so old. Then I have this Morphe palette. This is the 35W. Oh, see, I went in thinking I was going to get rid of this palette, but now looking at it, I actually quite like the colour story, and it's got a black in it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to keep this just for the black. Next, I have two of these little MUA palettes. Does anyone remember when these were like so popular? So I have the Heaven on Earth and the Undressed palettes. So I'm going to get rid of these. I believe they're like 6 years old, and they're just, yeah, very pretty and old, and I have other palettes now that I gravitate towards, so I will get rid of these. Then I have this big MUA palette. This is the Burning Embers palette. Now, this is absolutely beautiful. Like, I love all of the pink shades in here, so I think I might just keep this. I never ever used like drugstore palettes very much, but I believe it would be good for me to start using it, especially like travel and stuff, so then if it gets broken, it's not the end of the world. Oh, this is the Collection Eyes Uncovered palette. I'm getting rid of this. Again, this is so old, I can't even give it away. Then I have the White Chocolate Bar, which I'm going to give to a friend or sell. I just never ever use this. It's got a little dent in the green, but other than that, I never used it. I have this Makeup Revolution palette. This is brand new, so I am going to sell this or give this to a friend. But yeah, I believe I got this in a Christmas calendar. I've just never used it. And with this is the Blushed Nudes palette by Maybelline. Again, I just never reach for this, so this is going in the bin. I am, however, keeping this. This is the Model's Own Sweet Dreams palette. Again, I love this shade for inner corner highlight, like this banana shade, and this mint colour and this big cherry colour are really beautiful. So I believe I've got some good shades in there, so I'm going to keep another Morphe palette. This is the 35R palette. Oh, this is 35R palette. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this. I never wear gold tones. They just don't suit my eyes. So I'm going to get rid of this. Yeah, if you're into like golds, this is a good palette. Then I have my Build Your Own Z palette. I don't think I could ever get rid of this because it's just, yeah, it's Build Your Own. I never really use this anymore. All of these are Makeup Geek. The top ones are Makeup Geek shadows. I don't even think they make Makeup Geek anymore. Then this one and this one are Anastasia shadows. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see, but Anastasia. And then this end one here is a Primark shadow, but yeah, I'm going to keep this. Then I have my Anastasia Moonchild palette. I don't know what to do with this because I never ever use this, but it is so beautiful. Like, I don't know, because I don't know if anybody would want this, but yeah, I might get rid. I don't think I would ever use this again, but it is sad because I remember getting on the hype on this in like 2015 when it came out, so it is sad, but I think it's about time I part ways. Oh, then I have the boxes of the palettes back here. So I have the box of my Velveteen, my two Tartelette palettes which are at uni, but I'm never getting rid of them. Oh my gosh, then I have this bad boy. This was my first ever like eyeshadow palette I ever really bought. This is the Makeup Revolution Iconic Pro 1. I don't even, the Salvation palette, I don't even think they make this anymore. Oh wow, look at how like old this palette is. I've literally hit pan on like 5 shades. So hit pan on this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. But yeah, I am obviously going to get rid of this. I don't even know why I still have it. It's in the bin. Is it? So thanks for watching that. If you want to watch what I got rid of, the next palette, the next drawer, then watch my makeup collection declutter of part 2, which will be everything else, not just my eyeshadow palettes. So thanks for watching.